as I promised, I'll be discussing to you about our module 1. Okay, so again, this is about why. Okay, so what is YWCA? So many of you, like be wondering about the YWCA and its way of work. So it is a worldwide membership of women and a volunteer movement of women and girls inactive in over 120 countries, including Philippines. Okay. It is an ecumenical organization working in accordance with Christian principles. So being an ecumenical movement, so YWCA membership is open to all. So regardless of faith, age, religion, and culture, okay, so we carry out our programs and services to the community with Christian way of teaching. So next, it is a non-governmental organization or NGO, so bringing together women and girls from different backgrounds into a worldwide fellowship. Okay, and next it is provider of opportunities for collaborative efforts and responding to the needs of women and girls. So in order to be effective, YWCA officers should be fully aware about the specific needs or issues women and girls face in different communities where the organization operates. So only then can a response in the form of advocacy program will become relevant and useful. Okay, so next, what is the meaning of YWCA? So again, it's Young Women's Christian Association. Okay, so first, the Y, okay, it means young, but not age, but youthful idealism and energy needed to engage in collaboration between leaders across generations. Okay, so next, W, women. So this leadership by women. But then again, men are most welcome as associate members, but they cannot assume leadership positions. Okay, so Christian. Okay, letter C, that is Christian. So it is a Christian organization, but not a religious one. So again, this is a misconception about the organization. This is a Christian organization, but not a religious one. So we teach our young people to uphold Christian values and principle as we help one another. Okay, and letter A, it's an association. Okay, this is a membership movement with a unity of common purpose. Okay, so that's the meaning of YWCA. Next, what are the priorities of YWCA? Okay, so first, it's about leading social and economic change for women. Okay, so this developing leaders and harnessing collective power of women and girls to achieve human rights, health and wellness, security, dignity, freedom, justice and peace, and healthy environment. Also, it's promoting gender equality. Okay, so next. So YWCA work in the community was described by Dr. Musimbi Kanyoro, former General Secretary of World YWCA and CEO, Global Fund for Women. So let us all read her message. All of the YWCA can be summarized in this one phrase. We help women and girls develop into leaders. We contribute to healthcare in a community, but we are not a medical organization. We foster conservation programs, but we are not environmental specialists. We lobby for political, economic, and social change without claiming these issues as our identity. So our common purpose is the development of women leaders who commit themselves to work for change in their communities and beyond. Right? So that's a message from the former General Secretary of Worldwide. Okay, so next, way of work. Okay, so the YWCA work in democratic way. So we say that YWCA may be organized by women and girls of different faith and cultures and who speak different language. Okay, so all languages, cultures, and faith. Okay, next, it is the World YWCA advocates leadership for change. Okay, leading the change in the lives of girls and women with a focus on training and working against violence in 84 countries around the world. Okay. So next is to date, right? There are 24 countries in Asia and Pacific rooted in India, Myanmar, and Sri Lanka in 1875. In the Philippines, the first YWCA local association was created in 1926. The YWCA of the Philippines was founded in February 14, 1948, and it was officially affiliated with the World YWCA in 1951. Okay, so what we build? So we build trainers. In the last quadrennium, YWCA was able to train 500,000 women who also build long-term fellowship among women from different parts of the world for a life of purpose, dignity, and change based on Christian love. So Young Women's Christian Association of the Philippines, you'll know it is registered with SEC or the Securities and Exchange Commission as a non-stock, non-government organization. Also, we are accredited by the Department of Social Welfare and Development, and we have partnership with different association like the YMCA or Young Men's Christian Association of the Philippines, Girl Scout of the Philippines, Boy Scout of the Philippines, National Council of Women and Philippines, which is NCWP, Renewable Energy Coalition, Philippine Council of NGOs Against Drug and Substance Abuse, or PhilCADSA, and Federation of Asia Pacific Women's Association, or FAWA, Philippines. Okay, so next, what are the advocacies areas? Okay, so world peace with justice, okay, women's health and environment, human rights of women and children, and economic justice for women. Okay, those are our advocacies areas. Okay, so but how about what advocacy area our local association focus on? So here are some. Okay, so like human rights of women and children. This is reading literacy program from YWCA of Marikina. Moms in Touch, YWCA of Makati, Philippines. Then for women's economic justice, education for family life, focus on young women. This is home management skills training from YWCA of San Jose del Monte, Bulacan, Philippines. Okay. So now, our roots started during the mid-Victorian period in England, founded by two women in 1855 during the Crimean War, which is lasted like 1853 to 1856. Okay, so this is Emma Roberts, organized prayer groups for young women, and Lady Mary Jane Kinnard founded a hostel for nurses. So you may recall that nurse Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing, served as a manager and trainer of nurses during this war, and later established first secular nursing school in the world. So you can imagine how important the role of women is in times of war, right? Okay. So as you can see, after the two women emerged, their group in 1877, the movement grew quickly and spread to other countries. Okay. So in the Philippines, the movement started in 1921 with the Time Investment Club headed by Mrs. Felicissima Bargos Barza, which is the nucleus group of YWCA of Manila, which was officially established in 1926. Okay, so here are the legacies of YWCA of the Philippines. We are pioneer in health and recreation. Okay, we introduced a physical education in the curriculum. Okay, and we also promote promotion of adult education, building community centers, camping for girls, developing youth leaders, safe residence, and interfaith fellowship. So our vision, so an association fully inclusive of age, faith, creed, and status using collective woman power for social change or transformation. For our mission, to bring about quality of life, develop women as change leaders or members in body, mind, and spirit, engage in selfless Christian service, and to empower women and girls in dynamic partnership with men and service group towards total transformation. Okay. In YWCA, we value our history and foundation in the Christian faith. Okay, our worldwide solidarity as a women's volunteer membership movement, and the diversity, inclusive tolerance, and mutual respect, integrity and accountability, self-determination of women and girls in all areas of life, and young women leadership to improve the status of women and children around the world. Now, as you can see, this is the sample organization structure of YWCA, which is led by the membership. Okay, next is the local associations. Then the middle is the National Council, and followed by Executive Committee, and then the National Office. Okay, so next, right? So here are the National Office present priorities, which are advocacy programs pursuing SDGs, so such as good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, climate change, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and the like. Okay, so leadership training for young women. So young women leaders are expected to serve as the future leaders of the movement. Next, the capacity building. Seminars aim to strengthen and develop the skills, abilities, and provide resources to all members. So the national office helps the local association to create proposal for funding projects to the World YWCA. Okay, so for funding, and also provides technical support when needed. Okay, exchange and mutual learning promotes common understanding on issues and challenges and the way to resolve them to create a better future for all women. Okay, and next is the local association need help to build capital to be able to sustain its program and services to the local communities. Okay, next. Right. So to date, YWCA of the Philippines scope of work has reached 27 local associations. So as you can see, we have 8 in Northern Luzon, 8 in Southern Luzon, 6 in Visayas region, and 5 in Mindanao. Right. So this is the membership composition of the organization. We call Y Prep for those kindergarten ages 3 to 6 years old. We call Y Bots for those elementary students with ages 6 to 12 years old. Y Teens, we call them to those high schoolers with ages 12 to 16 years old. Student Y, those college or university women 16 to 21 years old, young professional for those younger women, and community youth. These are community based from 21 to 30 years old. Adult depends in the community, professional, woman, as long as you're 31 years old and above. And we call Y Blazer for our senior citizen ages 60 years old and up. Okay, so next, this is the YWCA triangle, our logo. Okay, then this is the inverted triangle. Okay, so this inverted triangle symbolizes three areas of development, which is the body, mind, and spirit. So this the values formation of human rights, literacy, and education, health, livelihood or crafts, shelter, and environment. So all in all in this, we provide services, right? Okay. So now, starting a local YWCA. So the Philippine YWCA provides training and resource materials for setting up an organizational committee, recruiting members, developing program plans and preparing budget, drafting constitution and bylaws, interpreting the YWCA to the community, and affiliation to the national movement. So this is how you start a local association. You need all these resources. Okay. But um, then next is how does a YWCA functions? The YWCA volunteers play key role to ensure the success of our programs, projects, and activity. Okay, so support staff may be employed to perform essential duties and responsibility to assist volunteers in their advocacy. And then volunteers are elected as officers of the National Council and of the local board. So YWCA also does work through committees which have the power to recommend projects or program. So they are also tasked to pursue implementation and monitoring of approved projects with the support of the national staff. Okay, so local associations conduct recruitment of volunteers as local members who will carry out activities that address the needs of community women and girls. So the national office and local associations develop program plans and look for source of funds to sustain existing projects. Then our constitution and bylaws serve as basis of governance. How is the YWCA supported? So financing YWCA programs and activities through membership fees, program activity fees, special fundraising events, government grants, donors for specific program or project activities. So translating YWCA purpose into action means responding to the needs of the community women and girls through appropriate programs such as leadership training for young women. This is led by the National Youth Coordinating Council, youth arm of YWCA, community development through control of pollution and cleaning and greening of the environment, and skill training for economic development and educational activities for all ages. Lastly, surfacing women issues and resolving them under the Sustainable Development Goals. And also, we have the child care and schooling, women's right, including action to address violence against women, shelter and housing, environmental issues, and appropriate technologies. Network with the other organizations and agencies with similar goals, human rights, and peace with justice. So membership serve as the key ingredient of the movement, and they are every YWCA's greatest asset. So as they devote their time, effort, knowledge, and skill to lead the change and make positive impact for individual and communities. So planners, implementers, or coordinators of program and projects that contribute to the achievement of the mission and vision of the association, and evaluators and monitors of ongoing activities and projects. So next, so what are the basic steps, all right, in organizing a local YWCA? Okay, so as you can see, first, fill up the required form provided by the national office. Okay, establish partnership with the community stakeholders. Next is select members to be elected as officers. Open a bank account for the local association. Recruit members to join in delivering programs and activities. Study the work, principles, and action and the policies of the organization. Then next is draw up constitution and bylaws and future plans for the association. And next is identify and determine specific functions and goals of officers and members. Next is develop plan for members to gain needed knowledge and skills. Hold regular meetings to develop sustainability, monitoring, and regularity. Next, register members both in the local and national association to have access and opportunity to, to regular program and activities conducted by the local and the national association. Right, so that is a easy step, right, in forming local YWCA. So next, this is sample organization structure. Like as you can see, we have the members, the executive committee and officers, membership subcommittee, constitution subcommittee, program subcommittee, and finance subcommittee. So again, this is just a sample organization structure. Next, role of YWCA president. Of course, there's a volunteer leader elected by the membership. Then the YWCA president will be the presiding officer at all meetings of the membership, executive committee, and local board. Then appointing authority of subcommittee chairpersons and subcommittee members, and the YWCA president, ex officio member of all subcommittees with voting privilege, and the legal signatory for all official documents. Moreover, interprets the YWCA to the community, manager of fundraising activities, then works closely with the executive director or secretary, and shares the responsibility for the overall work and welfare of the association. So next, this is the administrative function of the executive committee and local board, okay, with some membership development, recruiting, training, and placement of volunteer leaders and employed personnel, developing and updating employed staff policies and practices, program planning and development, financing the work, acquisition and maintenance of property and equipment, public relation and community coordination. That's end of the module 1. right? So again, thank you and have a wonderful morning to all.